Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So we're going to be doing breakout rooms where once we do like a sample idea, we're going to split you guys up and you guys are going to come up with whatever we do just now. And it'll just be a fun exercise. And then you guys can just tell us what you did. We'll be hopping around the breakout rooms. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, so it looks like we have 9 people. So Preetham, we can probably just divide up into 3 breakout rooms, and
Yeah.
then we'll do a
Teams
Google
of 2.
Sheets example together, and then one breakout room can do Zoom, one can do LinkedIn, one can do DoorDash, or if you would rather do Venmo or an alarm clock, feel free to do that as well. So Google Sheets, let's do this one together. This is a really tricky one. We just came up with it because while we were making the spreadsheet, we were hating on Google Sheets because it's so difficult to use. So ignoring 4, 5, and 6, right now just looking at 1, 2, and 3, what are 3 features that you would want Google Sheets to implement? So product manager working in the Google Drive org, working on Google Sheets. If they had to pitch a new feature to one of their executives during a new quarterly meeting, what's one of the features that we would maybe want them to do? Take like 2 minutes, think about it. I think this is one of the hardest ones on the spreadsheet. So
It gets easier.
I'm trying to think.
I have something I could start.
Oh,
So
someone raised their hand actually. Should we start with them first? I
yeah,
think Ram.
go ahead.
Aram, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. It's actually a very specific feature and not in general, but I'd find it much better if Google Sheets had a better access to graphs and where we could edit the axes and all that properly, because I've personally found it very difficult to construct graphs on Google Sheets.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what would that feature look like? Like, do you want a feature to?
So yeah, basically a graph which we ourselves could construct like we can on Excel, where we can edit the axis and we can, you know, form different features of the graph. Like we can add a line or add the curvy line in the at the start to skip a particular interval. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've had so much troubles trying to make graphs on Google Sheets. It's just really annoying.
All right,
Nice. I
that's a
like
good
that
one.
idea.
Preetham, what about you? What were you gonna say?
So mine was it's kind of built on the existing feature. So you know how we share like any this isn't just applied to Google Sheets, it's even like Google Docs and everything. So my biggest problem with sharing like Google Docs is you can't send the link in the browser. When you hit the share link and you copy whatever like the share button and get whatever link they have, it's always view. It's never edit. So a very small minor tweak, but what I do for share is I'd have it set to default as edit because most of the times you're sharing for people to like work with you. Like it's such a long process, right? But I'd have it like 2 clicks, like or
Oh
like
yeah,
make
I
it
sent you a view only link by accident today too.
right. Yeah. So if you could just have like a copy edit link or something like that, like a button instead of like selecting which way it would work, that would be so useful for me because it's just so annoying every time trying to share and then hit edit, which is not fun
Okay,
at
so what
all.
would you say a feature or just like make edit?
Extension of the share feature.
So make edit the default option?
Yeah.
I think it might be better if you just had the option to change what the default was for your account. Because like I feel like some people would use view more in certain cases.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if
Yeah.
like per account you had the option to set what your default link would appear as.
Yeah, that would actually be a nice feature to have.
Himanshu, you raised your hand. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I would say that I agree to what's being discussed because I think that Google Drive and Google Docs and Sheets in general has really messy collaboration, and I think that it can be improved very well because in general like sometimes it's view, sometimes it's edit, and sometimes people send something. It's not always really that um, open and accessible most of the time. So I think that we could instead of making something a default option, we could make a three circles or three buttons. But one would say restricted, view, and edit, whatever. And if we clicked on whatever, it would directly copy the link to the clipboard, whatever we wanted to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
I think they have it built differently right now because I'm pretty sure you see if you look at the URL at the top how it says edit. So I think that URL changes when you like share a different link and it adds permissions and all that stuff.
So right
It's
now, if you
really
click
weird.
on share, it would like give you a lot of options, drop downs, and then
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 clicks to actually access what you need to do. But it should be that if you click share, you get these 3 circles in the center of the screen, and whichever you click, it will automatically copy the link to the clipboard accordingly.
Yeah.
So you think it's overcomplicating the process to getting a shared link?
Exactly.
All right, so moving on from shared, because we got a lot for that. What else can we improve?
Yeah, I had an idea. So basically, for whatever we do at Adventure or even my projects, we have a lot of people sign up on the forums, right? Give them their feedback. The Google Forms or surveys. I'm not sure what it's called, but I find myself kind of typing out data manually onto those sheets. I'm not sure. I just actually found out that there's a feature like on the add-ons that you can actually transfer some of that data onto your Google Sheets. I just feel like a lot more people could be like making it more aware that hey, there are like tools between some of Google's what do you call it? Just like tools to display it on Google Sheets or things like that would be much more better. It'd be improved for accessibility.
If I'm not wrong, they actually give you a preview, like you could change or you could transform your Google Form results to a Google Sheet already. I mean,
Mhm.
that's how I got to know about it.
So I think what Manas is saying is like create more awareness that this feature does exist.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. So I think there was one of the Adityas raised their hand.
Oh yeah. It isn't really a new feature, but I kind of used Google Sheets in organization. So like with spreadsheets of say 10, 20,000 like rows, I think Google Sheets, it's much less stable than Excel, even while just scrolling or like loading the page. Yeah, and it like really hogs the memory as compared to Excel for like really big spreadsheets. So yeah, that's just a general
Okay.
Yeah.
upgrade, I guess.
I think that's like a browser limitation sometimes too. Because like if you load a heavy duty website too, it's not gonna load properly. But yeah, maybe Google can use their cool compression and make it easier.
All right. That's interesting. Govind, what about you? You had your hand raised.
Okay, some of these ideas, I got 2 ideas here. One would be, just as he said, increasing durability and speed. Honestly, what Google could do is charge enterprise customers way more to have their data on, say, Google Cloud right now. You know, I guess like just creating a better version of it, virtually having something run in the cloud, and for you, it's just kind of like a screen share option, you know. I guess Google could make this work. I think cloud technologies are getting better by the day. So is broadband. And the other option, honestly, in my opinion, the one reason I don't use Google Sheets a lot is because there's no desktop client for it. Like that just bugs me out a lot because like Apple at least has the option where like all my files are synced in between devices. Google can pull it off, there's already Google Cloud, it's already saved on the cloud. Just make a desktop client and make everyone's life easier. I think they have it on the Chromebooks, but I might be wrong.
Okay, that's an interesting one. I didn't think about that. So I know a couple people have their hands up, but let's just like move on to 4, 5, and 6 because we do want to move on eventually to the rest of them as well.
Everyone hates Google
That's great
Sheets.
that we're all so
basically.
excited about this. You can kind of clearly tell we all passionately hate Google Sheets. So 4, 5, and 6, these are also interview questions and questions on the job that you may get asked. For example, if the C-level peeps in a company decide this is our corporate vision, it then boils down to the product managers to come up with features that match with the corporate vision. So, for example, Twitter was mentioning in its last quarter earnings call that they are looking into a subscription-based model revenue style because the ad platform revenue style is just not cutting it for them. So right now their product managers are working on what type of features can they make that can bring in revenue on a monthly basis rather than every time someone purchases an ad. So for Google Sheets, if Sundar Pichai was like, all right, guys, we need a new revenue stream for Google Sheets. We're not making enough money from this product. You're all going to lose your jobs if we don't make more money. So we need a new revenue stream. What can we meet? What can we make for this? I guess it was similar to what Govind, you were saying, like just charge your enterprise clients more. But to charge our clients more, we need a new feature that they pay more for, because they can just go to Excel or they can go to Airtable and things like that. So what's one feature that if our CPO says like we need a new revenue stream, make a feature specifically for that, what can we do? I guess the first thing that comes to mind is ads, but I feel like if you put ads on Google Sheets, that kind of just like,
That's a no bueno, no.
it destroys your peace of mind, and I feel like it invades your personal space. It invades your, like, this is where your data is, you're organizing your thoughts and all of that.
So I was thinking.
Go ahead.
Who's talking?
Okay.
Okay, Aditya, you go, then Preetham, then
Yeah.
Aram.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. I was saying I don't really know too much about this, but I feel like for larger enterprise applications, they might be able to integrate some of the Google Cloud like ML stuff into, or like just how do I say, it's like processing big data. So if they could find a way to implement that into Sheets to deal with like huge amounts of data, that would be maybe lucrative for enterprises.
Okay.
I'd actually like to build on that. So Google Cloud Platform has something called BigQuery, which is basically like, it's not exactly like a SQL database. It's more like tables, and you can query it using SQL. So if you could like use the infrastructure that they have set up for something like that to run queries, and have you like the ability to just import from Sheet to something like data science related, where you can get more data and crunch numbers. Also, like BigQuery is given like more like higher bandwidth infrastructure, so it can process data like that. And so you can offer, you know, kind of like the fast processing and all that kind of stuff to the revenue stream. Also, like going off what Govind said about the desktop client, because right now you can get it on like a phone or iPad for free, the app, but you can make like a desktop client for like 99 cents, and people that really need to use it could pay for it.
Okay. So we have desktop client, some sort of like data organization, visualization services sort of thing. Aram, what did you want to say?
Actually, it's pretty similar to what Govind and Preetham said. I was just, it sounds dumb now, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was just thinking of Google releasing something like Microsoft Office, where they would ask people to subscribe to their Google Slides or Google Documents and Sheets, where they could charge a few customers who are buying a few devices for their full-on involvement. But the good thing about Google is that it's free, like it's accessible to everybody. So they could keep a limited features of the Google Slides or Sheets free. But say suppose if I want to do a few functions on Sheets, I would have to subscribe to the actual desktop app. So I'd have to download it. So just like
a
subscription
they
for
have like G Suite or G something like that. G Suite, I think.
G Suite, yeah.
G Suite.
It's called
And
Google One now. Yeah.
okay, then Google One. So that's what most of the clients use. So I guess that does bring in a lot of money. I think a desktop client would be a big deal. Like they have a desktop client for the Google Calendar, and they made me pay $4 for that, and I paid. So I think people would be really inclined to pay for like Google Sheets as well. All right, let's go to number 5 since we're almost at 4:30 already. To increase accessibility. So if you're confused by what that means, we're kind of just talking about like maybe people who are colorblind, or people who are deaf or blind, or people who have physical disabilities. So just something that makes the product more accessible.
I could go for people with like physical abilities, mainly like for someone that can't use their hands, like type and access like a mouse, voice.
Don't have it. Yeah.
Accessibility settings. It was right there in tools, I think. Yeah, so they just have like screen reader. That's for
Turn
like
on braille
blind
support.
people,
Huh.
and
That's
then
pretty
this
cool
is
that they
for
have.
like people with vision problems. So yeah, basically what I was thinking is Google has a beautiful like voice assistant. It's great at like understanding what people are saying, and I feel like it's pretty easy to just tell like that client what to do if you can't like really use your laptop. So like, let's say I wanted something in like cell C2, I could just be like cell C2 and then start talking, something like that, you know.
Yeah, building off of that, if you have a graph or if you have, a title in some cell, right? It could kind of just give you a high level overview of basically just summarize all the information that's on Google Sheets, right? Instead of going by cell by cell by cell, because that would be kind of, annoying at times. But just like a high level overview of reading the title, I think would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. I feel like that's like a thing that everybody would find helpful. Himanshu, did you raise your hand?
They could also make this thing where people usually use it with forms a lot. So most of the times people like if there are like 40, 50 or 100 different form repliers, they you can do graphs and stuff with that. So they can integrate with Google Slides and automatically make a slide presentation of all the summary of the forms. So if the form is closed and all the data has been submitted, they can make a slide presentation automatically with like we had these many respondents and this is how the whole thing looks. So based on just a form, you can actually do a direct presentation of the results from that. So that much less effort.
Cool, cool. Govind?
Uh, increasing, okay, for marketing to a new demographic, I have an idea. Are we doing that now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, well, there's this OS known as KaiOS. Read about this in the book Swipe to
Yes.
Unlock. But I feel like Google
I got you
could
to buy that book, and now you're talking about it.
Wait, which book is it?
Swipe to unlock.
Swipe to unlock,
Yeah.
Just like for people to understand KaiOS, right? Yeah, and so basically this is just an operating system for feature phones. And what a feature phone is, it's like if you think of your Nokia, like the old Nokia with buttons on it. So those are like low memory, like not a great display kind of phones. But this operating system is also like very lightweight. So it kind of makes a smartphone out of these lightweight phones. So it allows people to get like YouTube apps and stuff like that. And so Google already has a partnership with them as well, I think.
Yeah,
I see.
I guess it's getting Google Sheets on there, and if not, like the other option would be to make a lower bandwidth version of Google Sheets. Like you know how Facebook made Facebook Lite for like people in like rural areas. I guess you could market this to businesses, like say in some parts of India, China, where like internet just isn't as strong. Probably like places like Africa. I guess like in the US it's pretty consistent, but there are still parts of US as well that experience like internet
I
connectivity
think going off
issues.
of that, like Google Sheets is used for really, really complicated, like processing large amounts of data, but you can also use Google Sheets to do like smaller things, like write your grocery list or plan a travel itinerary. Like, what are you going to do every single day? What is the date? What is the time? And I feel like Google could really expand on that. Like, let's see, if you click on this, do they give you templates? Oh, cool, they do. Yeah, and I feel like so things like this, like a budget, a travel planner, you don't really know about that. So if they could make it more apparent, like if I were to put the title like trip to Montreal or put in like the A1 like packing list, then if Google could automatically sense that, oh, she's making a packing list or she's making a shopping list, and then
Right.
give me like a tip bubble that says, hey, we have some templates, da 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 da.
Like natural language processing.
Kind of like they have on
I
Gmail
see.
too, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
like the auto
Finishes your
completion
sentences.
feature. Yeah. They have that on Google Docs too.
Yeah, so pick up on why I'm using Sheets.
I just saw a LinkedIn post today where they were apparently starting to get smart fill on Google Sheets soon. Some product manager at Google just announced it today. I don't know if it's out yet. Probably not by the looks of it.
That's cool. Like I feel like on
Yeah, I saw
Microsoft
it too. I
Word,
saw that post.
as soon as you start writing your name and like your experiences, it'll automatically give you that bubble. Oh, are you making a resume? Connect it to your LinkedIn and we'll give you these tips. So if Google Sheets could do something like that, then that would be really helpful too. All right, let's go on to competitor products so we can go into our breakout room soon. So Excel, Airtable.
Airtable.
I like Airtable a lot more than Excel, so I think they're the biggest
Apple
competitor.
Sheets, Apple spreadsheets. What is it called? I don't know.
Not
Numbers, I
numbers.
think.
Numbers, yeah.
Numbers. Yes, numbers.
So
I feel
creative.
like Numbers is barely a competitor though.
No one uses it, but
Yeah.
it gets the job done, right? It has the
Yeah, it
desktop
has nice
app.
templates sometimes though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no one uses it.
Pages is nice.
I guess that's
Like not against this, but in general, like in Apple's suite.
All right, sounds good. So I think we can go into the breakout rooms now. I'll put the link in the chat so if everyone can grab it before they disappear into the breakout rooms, and I'll make sure it's an editable link. Preetham, do you want to get the breakout rooms going?
Yeah, I was just gonna do that.
Does anyone have any questions before we break off? Like everyone knows what you got to do? Awesome. Okay, it looks like people are disappearing. I wonder
Did
if
everyone get the
everything
breakout
will work.
room invitations? Cool.
Do they get to like pick their own topic?
I'm
or no?
gonna broadcast a message. Room 1 is Zoom.
Okay.
Oh. Room 2 is LinkedIn.
There's only 2 rooms, right?
There's 3. I made it into groups of 2.
Oh, okay, so partners.
Yeah.
How do we like
Room
search?
3, Venmo / DoorDash.
I don't know if we can actually, cause
Yeah, Preetham, how do we go to breakout rooms?
yeah, I think you gotta put us in a breakout room. Actually, I don't think we can surf through.
No, there's definitely a way to go to breakout rooms from.
Media aspect.
Sorry.
Remove the messaging aspect and really focus on almost treat it like the digital business card of today. That's what to focus on. So a lot of cutting, remove a lot of stuff.
Interesting.
Yo, Disha, peep what I said for the Zoom number, like row 9.
They already have everyone. That's so true.
Yeah. I mean, like even the boomers got it, and like my brother too, who's like in what 4th grade right now. They just conduct his classes through that. So I was just like,
That's true. Honestly, they do have almost every demographic.
yeah. But yeah, and then going brought up the idea of like, hey, like we're not really sure if people in different regions are like can see the menu in different languages. Like we don't know for sure, so we just wrote that down.
That's true. Yeah. All right, let's wait for everybody else to come back.
Oh, I like how they changed DoorDash to Flipkart.
What else do we got? These 2. Okay.
Maybe next time we can do like a hardware app because we didn't do that one this time. That would be fun.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
We're back.
All right, cool. So let's look at what we did. All right, so does someone from room 1 want to give us like a high level 1-minute overview of what you worked on and what you think overall Zoom should improve?
I go or Monas, do you want to go or Aditya?
I'm cool if you guys go. It's whatever.
Okay.
Here, do you want
Yes.
to switch?
Yeah, sure.
You guys got 1 minute, so chop chop.
Okay, so Aditya came up with the idea of inline replies. We're just like in a large class, it's easier to just be able to see who you're replying to rather than just unstructured messaging, Then second one was variable permissions, as Disha suggested, just allowing co-hosts to have more features, and I guess allowing more people to have features in general instead of the idea of a host and co-host. Then Manas, should I
Yeah.
continue?
So for high fidelity, so this was basically for people who actually play instruments and are trying to have like online classes. Their sound usually gets numbs out by the audio filtering that they have. I mean, it's really good for talking, right? Because you can hear a person and not the background noise or if they're eating in the background. But for, instrument players or people who work in the sounds for like movies or skits or whatever, they can't really take advantage of that. So Zoom actually just rolled out a high fidelity platform. That's something called high fidelity, where they optimize the sound input for basically all types of mediums. So yeah, it's just, I guess, gaining more awareness of that though, because I just found about it when I searched up. Yeah.
Cool. All right, room 2, do you guys want to give a 1-minute overview?
Yeah, sure. Like I said to you before, LinkedIn has kind of gotten away from what its core focus should be, which is being the online business card. It focuses too much on being a social media. There's posting and messaging and all this stuff. So we would actually cut a lot of those features so it can be something unique and something truly useful to people. I don't think most people go to LinkedIn to see what's new with their friends. Instead, it should be the online business card. And so we had some features in there to make that happen.
Interesting. All right. Number 3, Flipkart. You guys want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so I don't know if a lot of people know about Flipkart over here. It's an Indian rival to Amazon, and it's really neck to neck. But uh, most of the things we saw were that Flipkart is a really cluttered app. It has like they took advice from every product manager they knew, and they implemented everything into the app. It has TikTok, it has YouTube, it has a games platform, it has coins, it has like whatever you name, you would find on that app. It has basically, it's a shopping app, but they've made it everything possible so people don't leave the app. But I don't think that should be the focus over there. They should make it a lot more organized, and it doesn't feel like the person using the app is using 10 apps. They should actually make it a lot more uh, uniform throughout the experience. Like Amazon feels like Amazon, whatever we're doing on Amazon, but Flipkart feels like a fair, Indian fair, where you go and there's just colors everywhere. So it doesn't make it that good a platform. And another things we wanted to implement were introduction of it into feature phones. So this actually makes sense to introduce into iOS more than Google Sheets, I think, because people would start ordering more stuff, and we presented this idea where we keep the cash on delivery option as the default one, so that more people can access it.
That sounds cool. Awesome. I really like how much detail you guys put. You really wrote a lot on here. That's awesome. I think it's also really cool to see what everybody thought for like marketing to a different demographic. I think Zoom changing it to a different language, that's actually a pretty good idea. And then the rebranding is a pretty good idea as well. So this was really great. Great job, everyone, on putting in a lot of effort. And hopefully now you can think on your feet a lot more quickly when it comes to like different types of products and the different types of strategy that you want to keep in mind. For next week, maybe we'll work on like doing some SWOT analysis for the different competitors that you came up with. But in the meantime, before our next meeting next Wednesday, we do have like a little take-home product assignment for everyone. If you could all go in the introductions channel on Slack and just write in your name, your major, your, like if you're a junior, senior, freshman, sophomore, what your favorite product is, what your career interest is. So are you here to learn more about consulting or product management? And then one activity that you think would be helpful. So for example, how today we did product thinking, if that was helpful for you, or if meeting alumni would be helpful for you, so that we know what to plan better for the next weeks. Drop that in the introductions channel sometime before next Wednesday. And that's pretty much all we got for this week. Unless Preetham, Manas, do you guys want to add anything?
Nope, everything good from my side.
Yeah, same. We pretty much covered it all.
All right, thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
great day.
much.